Hello, everybody. Uh,
Oh,
it's been a minute since we've done anything like this.
yeah.
No, I haven't forgot about these. It's just, we just haven't done it. I don't know. There's a lot less time for watching of the video varieties for movies and whatnot. I'm making excuses, is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. So we watched a movie. Welcome to Movie Review. I believe this is the first one that you're on, right, buddy?
Yes. It's the first one that I am on.
Yes, excellent, excellent. I foresee many movies in your future for us to review.
I mean, I have a movie membership, so yeah.
Exactly. We'll have to do more movies. And it could be kind of whatever. The old format that we used to do for this is at the end of whenever we make a review,
hmm
we alternate who gets to pick the next one.
hmm
I don't know if we're going to make it as frequent as one movie every week. Probably not.
Yeah.
But we have seen two movies this past week or two, so we will be recording two reviews.
Yeah.
Uh, but we'll see how that works out if we set up for another movie. Maybe we'll do a show because we kept talking about maybe a show review at some point.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah,
of shows you haven't seen, or
yeah. There's so much movies and TV that I haven't watched because I was so much a guy who just grew up watching as a kid too. The main thing that I watched other than cartoons was YouTube. So it's just the majority of the stuff I watched, but consumed, the content that I consumed, yum 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 yum, was all YouTube mostly.
most of it was kind of in between. If there was nothing like on TV or anything, then I would just hop on YouTube and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
If streaming services were more prominent when I was a kid, because Netflix was like the first one, and it was around for a while, but I just kind of missed the boat on Netflix, never really got around to it. I probably would have watched a lot more TV shows.
yeah, I think back then my mom had gotten some. Back then was everything was still by mail. Like they haven't transitioned to like,
Mm.
so pretty much you
Dude, I
got
loved
your
Blockbuster. Blockbuster was crazy.
yeah,
Uh
everything back then was like when Netflix and if you remember GameFly.
yeah, I never used it, but I remember
I
the
used
ads
it
for it.
once and I received the one time I did use it, I received a different game.
That's crazy. Like, well, this isn't worth it. I tried one time when they had the red boxes.
Oh yeah, I
I
tried
tried
with
renting a game from that one time.
yeah.
I was just like, this isn't it. Um,
So if there was a game
uh-huh.
that you really liked on there, but then you didn't have enough time, there was a scummy way you could do it. You
Oh.
could, yeah, you just my friend, I guess he did it one time. He placed the disc on like a copying machine. He
Mm-hmm.
copied the paper. He cut like it copied the disc, so it was like the front and the code like on the disc.
Oh,
So he cut the disc out, put it on there. The machine still recognized it, and then he kept a free game.
that's crazy. Also illegal. Don't do that. If
Yeah.
somehow these
Well,
I don't think I've seen a red box anymore.
no,
I'm pretty
they're
sure
all
they
gone
don't
now.
exist.
Yeah, they're all gone now.
Cuz I remember there was one CVS or Walgreens not too far from me that still had one. It wasn't operational, but it was still sitting there and I was like, "Whoa.
There was a
It's
like
an
a
ancient
mass
artifact."
like there was people like I guess when the Redbox like I guess officially shut down, like
Mm.
they're just like, oh yeah, can we just take this Redbox? They're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck,
Oh,
just take
okay.
it off my property.
That's fair.
And there were still like certain movies and games still inside there.
Hmm. Free shit.
Pretty
Anyway,
sure.
the movie that we're going to be talking about today, the review is for Captain America: Brave New World is the title, right? Right? I think so.
Yes, it's pretty.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was Brave New World, Brave New World, The Brave New World.
And then, and
A
then,
whole new world. No?
mm,
No Aladdin?
no, no,
Oh, okay. Um, so our format, Devin, usually is just we'll at first talk about the movie. No spoilers. We'll just give our general thoughts, opinions about the movie, give it a score for our general thoughts, and then after that, we're gonna talk more in depth, full spoiler warning and everything, and just go over whatever we want to go all the way through the movie, however we want to talk about it, give our final score at the end and see if our mind changed after talking about it more.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So first off, general thoughts. What did you think about the movie, man?
My general thoughts.
Yeah, no spoilers yet.
So I feel like the movie could have done maybe a little bit better. I feel like it could have maybe lasted a little bit longer. Like, I mean, it's still pretty long, like an hour and 50.
Yeah, it was just shy of 2 hours.
Yeah, they said some people were saying this was like the shortest Marvel movie ever.
To me, it didn't feel too short. I don't know. We have different opinions on it. I liked it more than you did.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the length was okay, but definitely I can see how making it longer would have helped a lot. What I didn't know is I heard after the fact there was a lot of shooting issues. So they had to reshoot a lot. Yeah, and then like
I think they
a lot of stuff was cut out.
I think
and they reshot the movie. I don't know if that's accurate. That's just what I heard.
Yeah. I think I don't know if they redid the script too or not, because I thought the script was entirely different what they were doing.
Yeah. I don't know. Because there were a lot of complaints. The story, I've heard people not like the villain, say it wasn't super cohesive or that there was too many time jumps or something. I felt like the very beginning was the only part of the movie I felt a little disoriented at. The first 10, 15 minutes, maybe that far in. After that, it felt like the story flowed pretty good. I didn't have problems connecting one scene to another. I didn't really have a problem with the pacing like a lot of people did. I enjoyed it. I liked everything. It takes place in a short time frame is maybe why it feels so short for a lot of people, but it makes sense why everything happened so quickly.
So hold it. I just looked up and see if they actually did like you said, they did do a bunch of reshoots, exclusive rewrites, cast changing, concerns about film direction, and they did go. They did like change the script, so I guess it was like multiple times. Now it wasn't like one time. It was like multiple. Like, oh, we're gonna rewrite it and reshoot it, and it's basically what a future film of a Marvel film might go through is the Blade movie. Is that the Blade movie was the actors was ready, but they kept changing the script, changing everything.
This seems to happen a lot lately with Disney. Mm-hmm. They can't make up their mind what the movie's gonna be, and it just gets rewritten every 5 seconds.
I mean, they have material, they just don't use it.
And I get not wanting to just regurgitate what the comics did. Mm-hmm. I get that. And I feel like that's where some of the hate for some of the movies, I'm not going to say all of them, some of them get that because it does something different. And it's like, that's not how it happened in the comics. Well, yeah, this isn't the comics. It's their own universe.
Yeah, that's pretty much why they pretty much did the multiverse. So that way, even if something does bad, they could just remake it.
Yeah, like they could toss in a new one. I have been off Marvel movies for, I don't know, a year or two now. The last one that I saw was Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and that was dog shit. And that pissed me off because that was my favorite superhero. And he's just a set piece in that movie.
That one did bad. I thought it was okay. It wasn't like...
I fucking hated that movie, dude. I understand why it can still be entertaining to a lot of people. And I think it can... There's a lot of problems I have with the movie. I can't say it's good. I could say it could be entertaining. But I don't think it's a good movie. Especially considering... Well, that's another movie that we're not trying to review right now. But yeah. My main gripe is the character who the movie's about isn't important in the movie, really. And he also doesn't learn the main lesson that's been taught through the whole movie. And the main character plot point, whatever, America Chavez, she's also just a set piece. The two of them are just set pieces in the movie. why bother? But anyway, that's when I stopped watching Marvel movies. So I missed a lot of stuff that people really hated, like Quantumania, Love and Thunder.
Don't watch that. I mean, don't watch that one. I mean,
and I feel like, all of these movies that were really bad that happened in between, people already have superhero fatigue. And so I think it gets extra hate because, hey, the movies have been dog shit. This one's going to be dog shit. I went in with the mindset that this movie was going to suck. I had a good time. I liked it. I wouldn't say it's like, holy shit, incredible movie, but it's a fun movie. I still liked it. Anything else you want to say about it non-spoiler wise? I feel pretty good about my stance.
Of
just general thoughts or anything else you want to talk about without getting into spoilers yet?
Also, like, in certain scenes, like, like when, because Captain America's unique thing is just like he's throwing the shield and then he catches it, or like it bounces back to him. Like some like past Captain America like shield throw scenes. Like I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I can see why it would probably come back.
Oh, I know where you're going with
this. In this movie, I'm like, how? I was very descriptive. I'm like, I was watching these shield throws, and I'm like,
there. It was so Dylan was sitting next to some random guy, and he said literally, the guy next to him, right? Cap throws his shield off screen. It bounces around and just fucking comes back, and the guy next to him is just like, what the? And his arms are like outstretched, and he's just like, how? Where did that come from? How?
The first time I saw it, this is like when I first saw it with my friend and his dad, and I lean over my friend. He's like, "That's bullshit." He's like, "Yeah, okay." I'm like, "Yeah," because like they're in like let's say they're in this hallway with a bunch of dudes, and it goes bing bong bong, and I'm like. And it goes, and all of a sudden it just like panhandles to him going, "Oh, I got it." I'm like, there ain't no way.
We're getting close to spoilers, so we'll stop with our general thoughts here and give our initial score, what we're thinking. So I walked out of that theater thinking I'll probably give this movie a 7 out of 10. What do you think?
5.
5 out of 10? Okay. All right. So this is everyone's fair warning now. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. We're going to talk about the movie in depth. We're going to go through the whole thing. I think something else I want to do at this point too is in case people watch like the first half just to get an idea and then come back for the rest after they've watched it. I'd say when we give our general score like this too, would you recommend someone going out to watch this movie? I would say yes. I'd say you'd still have a good time. What about you? Do you think it's worth going to the movies for?
I would say go see it when it's like, your typical, if your movie theater offers like, your $5 movie, like
so special. You would not pay full price for this movie?
I would not pay full price, or if your movie theater does not provide that, I would say wait until like every other Disney film, wait till it comes to Disney Plus.
On streaming, yeah.
Which is probably like, they'll probably have it on there within like at least maybe a month or two from now.
Okay, so you'd say it's not really worth paying much for, but still worth a watch, like on streaming or something.
If they, I'll tell you, if they had also at Regal Cinema, is that they promote this movie so hard, like advertising wise.
That's something else I want everyone else to start doing. I think part of the reason why you hate or have a bad experience at a Marvel movie is because of trailers, because of promotion, right? Yes. The first trailer you see should be it, right? So if there's a superhero movie coming out, don't watch trailers. Just don't. It's going to ruin the movie for you. It's going to give away stuff about the movie. It's going to set your expectations to a different level, or it's just going to give away all the good parts before you even get to the movie, because that's just how we do trailers now.
When
I did not watch any trailers except for the initial announcement of this movie, I had a lot better time.
Actually, the last Marvel movie you watched was Deadpool.
Yeah, I guess that is. See, because it's not really it doesn't do much with the MCU yet. It will.
Yeah, he'll eventually.
But that was a good movie. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. But if you're talking about just like before they like were doing stuff with Deadpool, then yeah.
But I did the same thing with Deadpool. I avoided every single trailer. Once I heard it was announced, that was it. Just
the only thing about in the trailers with Deadpool is that I think Ryan Reynolds made sure it was the same scene but just in a different view.
There was still a lot that was given away in different trailers, though. You're 100% gonna increase your movie going experience if you avoid trailers, avoid spoilers online. I did the same thing with Sonic. We could talk about Sonic maybe in another movie review. Sonic 3 is a banger. Banger movie. So good.
Can't wait for Sonic 4.
I know. But yeah, so you're being sufficiently warned. Spoiler warning. We're going to talk about the rest of the movie now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that ties into what we're just talking about now that I've heard a lot of people complain about, so like, why the fuck was there no Red Hulk hardly in this movie at all? It's not a Red Hulk movie.
No.
It's called Captain America. I understand. Red Hulk is really cool.
He's also heavily from they put him on the poster. They put him in.
And this is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. If you pay attention to all that marketing, all the trailers over and over and over, you're going to be like, man, that was really disappointing. I got like one scene with Red Hulk. It was a really long fight scene. And it's just like, I don't know, he has like 10 minutes of screen time at the end of the movie.
Some say 5.
Okay.
I've heard multiple. It's like 5, maybe 6 minutes of screen time. Like, because it was really quick.
Yeah. But if you watch all the trailers, it's like Red Hulk's this movie. But if you just go, oh, new Captain America movie, I'm going to go watch that. And then it's more like at the end of the movie, you're, oh shit, Red Hulk, this is cool. Because you got to think about it from the perspective too of an average moviegoer, which is more myself. I don't read a lot of Marvel comics, so I don't know much about Red Hulk. I didn't know there was a Red Hulk.
Oh yeah, there's also a Gray Hulk too.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of different Hulks. Don't know what they all are, but I was like, okay, this is cool. I didn't have a problem with Red Hulk only being at the end because I think the movie as itself is a good movie. It has a story that it's telling that's told decently, right? There's a mystery the whole time from start to finish of what's going on, what's the villain doing. He has a plan, how's it going to affect everybody? And it's just like each scene is meaningful, how it slowly unravels the whole thing to, oh, okay, so the leader is fucking with the president. Oh, the president fucked the leader over. Oh, he's gonna turn him into a monster, and that happens at the end, which is the climax, which makes sense. I think that there wasn't a pacing issue that a lot of people had. It just one thing flowed to the other, and it made sense to me.
The one thing I also have is like when he was like killing the one guy that was about to tell Captain America like about the gamma radiation that's in the pills. And then he's like, oh, you should already know I'm the hero. I'm like, don't you mean I'm the leader? I'm like, why'd you say that? It's like you either he misread his line or something.
See, and that's where I think the comics are interfering with your perspective for the movie. Because me, who doesn't know anything, right? Because the leader is a character in the comics. I don't know that. When he goes up and he says, I'm the hero, I'm like, oh, this cocky fuck thinks he's in the right. That's what the line's for. You know? Because it delivers and it makes sense for me. But for you, it's like, well, why doesn't he just say who he is? I know who he is. I know who he should be in the comics. Like you're saying, your complaint is also valid.
Yeah.
But that I'm saying that's why for the average person, right, that's not going to be a problem for me because I don't know all the comics. And I'm like, that line delivers if they're looking for just, hey, you know, I'm making my point that I'm the victim and I'm the good guy here now because I'm making sure this guy, the president in this movie, what's his name again? Harrison Ford. What's his character's name?
Colonel Ross.
Yeah. So he's like, Ross is an evil villain. I'm the hero because I'm getting rid of Ross. He's going to be a corrupt guy. I felt like one of the things this movie did very well is Ross's fall. It was very compelling. I enjoyed him the whole time trying to like work things out, and seeing you put Harrison Ford in a movie, you're immediately going to win a lot of points for me. Just seeing him struggling like that, his facial expressions, he's like a familiar friend. So it's like, oh, no, he's trying. Buddy, stop messing with him. I feel bad. You know? How did you feel about Harrison Ford as Red Hulk or Ross?
I think Harrison Ford did a good job. You know, I feel like but at some point in his life, that man just needs to retire. I mean, he's like 80 years old.
Isn't he 90?
Hold on, I'm looking this up now.
I thought he was older. I could be wrong.
He's 82.
Okay.
He's 82 years old.
But yeah, I mean, if he's having fun.
Yeah, I think he just wants to do as much movies as he can if, when he enjoys it,
Yeah. You have a cool ass job and you have fun doing it.
They're going to announce a new Blade Runner and then he's going to be like, I'm here.
Those are movies we got to watch because I haven't seen them.
You haven't seen Blade Runner?
Nope.
I haven't seen Blade Runner until there was like a class project I was doing and it said like, oh, watch this movie. I'm like, oh damn, it's Blade Runner. Shit, got me interested now. Yeah. Also, that movie was made in like the 1982. So
yeah, there's still a lot of good movies from the 80s. There is a huge majority of good movies that I still haven't seen. So
yeah, eventually we'll probably panhandle onto the old anime movies too.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
A little sneak peek. We haven't watched this for the channel or anything, but I'll give everyone a super spicy take. I hate The Godfather.
Oh my god, what?
Shit movie, so boring. So boring. God, I've fallen asleep through it 3 times, tried to finish it. Sucks. Hate that movie.
You know what you sound like? You sound like the fucking Family Guy. I don't know what it's like, but it's so good. What do you mean? It's like I couldn't get a hold of it. It's like but so like a lot of good actors. I'm like, yeah, I know, but
yeah, get good actors.
I've watched that movie like I think once or twice.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, you know what else is 3 hours? Scarface.
You know how I haven't seen that. You know how many scenes in The Godfather are just a panoramic shot of nothing happening and the fucking
it's more of like I feel like you just gotta like
I will
like
try it again. I will give it another genuine try for a movie review to see how I feel. But right now I just want to let everyone know to piss them off. Don't like that movie. I really don't.
The scene that like from that movie was like it's like a lot of transitioning going on because like it deals with like certain things happened within the family. Then he has to go all the way to.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I don't.
I haven't seen Godfather 2 or 3, so I heard Godfather
2 is supposed to be really good, and then 3 is dog shit.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
That's what I hear.
Anyway, Captain America.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll just kind of go through the movie in order. So the movie starts off. The first fight scene, I don't remember who he was fighting, but I remember it was rough.
Can you talk about like the second villain that he captured?
No, it's before that. Like the first fight that happens, I think it's like before he gets to what's his name, Sidewinder.
Yeah, Sidewinder.
Yeah, when it's outside, because that's how the movie opens up, right?
So he does the hero landing.
Yeah, he does the hero landing, which
and then he's like, wait for it.
Whatever, man.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's a comic book movie. I get it, but it's also a comic book movie. I kind of like the campiness. I kind of like it. But what I didn't like was the first fight scene. Not well choreographed. The first fight scene, slow. There's obvious guys off to the side not throwing a punch at him on purpose so they don't hit him, so that the fight flows. It's just not very well put together. And I'm sure that was one of the things where it's like, all right, we kept reshooting whatever. They kept the wrong cut for the first fight scene. Not good.
And what was it? There's that one, like the first fight scene is like when there's a bunch of dudes, and then the first thing they thought of, like, I'm gonna take his shield, get him off, and then it's like, I take his shield away. Now he's useless. Like, I'm like, well, he has like now nanotech, not
the wings, the Uganda wings.
Yeah,
those are cool. I like those.
Yeah, they're like, that was the only thing. Like, if he didn't have those, then he would probably have been screwed.
Well, his wings were normally bulletproof.
Yeah, they're normal, but not Wakanda.
Yeah.
Like, well, if he had straight up like his normal wings in like Endgame, I don't think he would have survived. I think he would have been straight up dead.
Well, but he had the new wings because he's Cap now. Why wouldn't he keep upgrading his arsenal?
I mean, that's true. But,
you know, like,
I mean, I feel like you have to eventually, like, you're like, man.
Yeah, like more crazy shit keeps happening in universe. Wouldn't you think? Wow, let me always keep trying to get better tech so that I don't die.
Eventually, they should
always getting shot at.
They should just like upgrade Winter Soldier's arm, where he just like does the same. He just does some crazy ass shit.
It just becomes he gets Beerus's hand, so he could just Hakai people.
Yep.
Just delete.
Or he just goes up in the air and he just goes, armed and danger
again. But yeah, so he fights his way into the compound there. It's like a church or something. And we get our first shield throw that pisses Devin off, where there's 3 guys in a hallway, and it like dinks.
That's not the one that like pisses me. Like, the first one was questionable. The second hallway was very pissing me off.
Yeah, you want to take center stage here?
So he's like, the first fight scene that you see, the guards are grappling him, and like one throws his shield on the ground. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's kind of smart. And then he just like pulls up, and then bro pulls up us like he does not have his shield, so he pulls up a cinder block. He picks up a cinder block. I'm like, okay, bro can just like, how much has he been like lifting? Because
a cinder block's not that heavy.
I mean, but to pick it up and toss it about someone's head, that man's dead.
Well, yeah.
And then he's just like, yeah, that's how we do it. Grab my shield. I'm like, I mean, I like the situation where he has his little 2 drones, so that way, in certain hostage like holds, he can just like use the drones to zap him. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, that's useful. That way, you know, saves a shield thrower too. Not gonna question it, like, but then he gets to like the room to where Sidewinder is, and he's like, oh, go fight this dude. And then fucking WrestleMania star comes over here saying like, I thought you were bigger. It's like, sorry to disappoint you. It's like, is this a WWE match?
That was crazy. When they revealed who was playing Sidewinder, though, my brain just went immediate happy, because I'm just like, oh, I love this guy. Just I always think of that scene where he's like, and now I'm going to kill you. I was just acting. Or was I? I fucking love him.
He did good in that game, Far Cry 4. Yeah, Far Cry 4.
Yeah, he did.
Or 5.
It's just a shame I had such fatigue from Far Cry, because I wanted to finish that one. It was good so far.
I think I stopped after 3.
Yeah, it's just Ubisoft games is same fucking thing, same open world, same shit every 5 seconds. There's a reason why they're not doing so well. They don't really add much new shit. They don't try. Anyway,
back to the movie. Do you want to add any takes to your to the first scene anymore, or do you want to go into the next scene?
No, I liked that. Like I said, the beginning of it's pretty rough. Then it got better. The WWE like fucking pile driver shit was kind of funny.
Say something for us, Cap. I was like, there's probably dudes outside.
Yeah, I like the introduction there too of the new Falcon. I like this guy a lot. I don't know what the actor's
like him because
name
he's a Florida man.
Well, he's a fellow Florida man, and he's awesome, dude.
And he's from Miami too.
Yeah,
Florida, Miami. Yeah.
No, like from the moment he was on screen, he just has a great energy. He's gonna be a great character to add to the MCU.
You know what I thought it would be a great touch to be like some kind of dramatic thing. I thought like from like the rocket scene when they were trying to go on the boat and then they were trying to stop the missiles. I thought he was straight up just like, oh, he hit the thing by accident. I thought he just straight up died.
I would have been really sad because I really like him.
I thought, it would be probably like traumatic for him to be like, as Captain America's like to take on another protege for him to be like the new Falcon. And then to be
that wouldn't be good to kill him off in the same movie, I don't think, though, because he's not like established well enough.
Maybe I wish they would have done like, oh, he might be dead, but then you pan out to his chair like, oh, hey, what's up?
I didn't have a problem with how all of that was handled. I liked it because it was showing, like how they always do, the younger new sidekick's cocky. He thinks he can do everything. And then he gets the reality check where he's like, "Oh shit,
I fucked up."
Yeah. What is his name? I'm trying to find him in here. Was it? What was his name in the movie? Do you remember? I don't remember. Was it Joaquin Torres?
It might.
Torres. That sounds right. Cause Danny Ramirez. Maybe this guy. Yeah, that's him. Yes. Yeah, Danny Ramirez is the actor. He did a great job. He just has, every time he's on screen, fantastic energy. He just like, he's happy. He plays the character well. He's having a good time. He's happy to be there. And just makes the scene better. Yeah. What's the next scene from that? We jump to Isaac, right?
And they I guess Seth Rogen was actually in the movie. Was he not? He was in the movie. The actual wrestler was in the movie. I'm like, I guess he was in that. I guess he was like that guard. I feel like he was actually that guard.
It could be. It kind of looks like him. Hey, it makes more sense why he fucking pile drived him.
I was like, he was wearing so much armor. I'm like, and he was wearing the glasses. So I wonder if he was just like, it's like, I thought you were smaller. Like, oh shit. Okay.
It was good though. Yeah. So after that, they meet Isaac, he's the first super soldier, right, for America?
Yes, he's the very first super soldier.
Yeah. They have,
I guess, World War II.
Yeah. They got some good back and forth. They're talking about how that's where they start the whole theme of the movie. How Sam's not taking the serum, so he's got to be careful. But that he could still pull it off, just being a human. Which I think it's a good message and a good theme that they have through the whole movie.
Yeah.
I liked that. The whole time it's like, yeah, he's just a guy. So it's impressive that he's able to do all this. Not someone to just be like, whoa, you're a hero. It's like, I could do that. I could become that.
I don't know why it says Mark Ruffalo was in here when he was not in here.
Anyone on the cast list should be there.
I know, but he was not in there. I mean, they probably just mentioned Bruce Banner, but he's not.
Yeah, I forgot he's the actor for Bruce. Yeah, no, he's not in the movie. which was a gripe a lot of people had. I don't think he needed to be there. Do you? I can understand wanting him, but I don't think he needs to be there because Hulk's not there until the end of the movie.
Yeah, but I feel like, and even so, he wouldn't be a normal Hulk. He would just be Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
So because I think I feel like Thor Ragnarok Hulk was better because he had his own Hulk Sona, like his own personality.
Yeah, I like that Hulk.
Yeah. It kind of that because that was like normal Hulk because like he has his own personality. He's like, oh yeah, puny Banner.
Yeah,
but
because now it is Bruce who's in full control, right?
Yes. I've watched like a little bit of like I watched full on She-Hulk, and that movie was. I mean, that show was like it was something, but it was not good.
We don't have to talk about how bad it was. Everybody knows that.
But in the beginning, like he had a device to where he was just completely normal.
Yeah.
And he had like basically like kind of like Marvel Rivals. He had like a belt, but it was like a little contraption around his like arm or something.
Gotcha.
Where he could probably just turn into it.
But yeah, after that, after the scene with Isaac, we get our main theme of the movie, and then go to the White House. And that's where first big conflict starts. With a bunch of people try to assassinate the president. Well, they use Isaac to try to kill Harrison Ford's character, and a bunch of the other people in the cabinet all go crazy, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill everybody." You're like, "Oh shit, what's happening?" So I don't remember the first movie about the Winter Soldier and everything. I've heard a complaint about this movie is that it's essentially just the Winter Soldier and Captain America movie again, where it's like, oh, guy is brainwashed to try to kill his own countrymen.
It's basically the leader uses like certain like things in your brain to where like you can control them, and then to active like this thing like flashes like they were doing through the phone. This signals.
Yeah. I felt like it was different enough because the focus wasn't. Obviously, people aren't all. Not everyone there is. What's the word? Sleeper agent. Not everyone's a sleeper agent. It's just that's like his power thing, where some of them are like Isaac because he got to mess with his head earlier on, but like he can kind of on the spot mess with people's heads to turn them into a sleeper agent, whatever.
Yeah, but it had to be like like already made like sleeper agent. Like he would have to be like right there, like already people already there. It couldn't be like, oh, I see this thing in my brain and then activation like the song. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with him doing sleeper agents again. Because it still ties into the same time frame and everything. I get a lot of people not liking that because it's not new. I don't know if say he was a telepath who could just force people to do things, I think it would be less interesting because then you have a lot more problems trying to make the story like, well, then you could just mind bend, the hero or whatever because he's just a dude. So
yeah, but in this case, he's not. He's just a very, very smart guy with. Basically, he just like he thinks of like possibilities, and they're just very thinks about it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the sleeper because the original Winter Soldier, it's like to take down. They're trying to like take down the whole country, whereas this is just targeted against one person, not specifically the U.S. It's just Ross.
Yeah,
he wants revenge against Ross.
It's basically to make Ross kind of like, oh yeah, we're gonna turn Ross against, show the world for who he truly is.
Yeah, the whole movie is trying to make Ross look bad. So Ross is trying to have a. I like that they introduced adamantium finally in this movie, which is really cool. So the island that is one of the Celestials is there, and so all of the countries are having a meeting about how it's going to be owned, who's going to have this, and they're working. Ross is the one who's leading a treaty deal so that everybody will share the adamantium, and everyone can have some. Which, if anything, this movie should have done, that if it was longer, right, we should have seen Ross be an asshole to further show, like, because we get to see him be, he's described as this shitty, mean guy from the beginning, and Sam's like, yeah, I know this guy, I know he can't be trusted, but we don't see any of that. What we see the whole time is him just being an old man who's trying to do his job.
And basically, like, he's like saying, like, oh, I've changed, I'm not that person no more,
and
blah blah blah.
Everything for most of the movie, he is just a pretty decent guy. He does be shitty to Cap after the fuck up with Isaac.
Yes.
Where he basically tells him, no, fuck you, you're on your own.
Yeah, you lost, because basically Ross was like, oh yeah, we're gonna restart the Avengers again, and then I'll lead you to
I'll need your help, yeah.
And then, but it's like, well, what if we have like a misunderstanding? It's like, oh, then we'll fix it then. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know. It made sense to me. I liked it. After all of that really throws a wrench in the whole treaty plans. Everyone's like, well, if you can't even control your own people, so it's the first step to make Ross look bad. So he's trying to get everyone back on his side.
There was like the one part where like the I think the governor for Japan was like, oh yeah, you've been secretly giving money to these guys, and like the black, like, I think the CIA black market funding.
So yeah, once Ross gets to Japan, which is after that, he's trying to get Japan back on board, and he's like, okay, the first scene is getting back Japan's adamantium. And so in this scene, he's coming back and he's like, hey, well, we got your adamantium back for you. Like, why can't you work with us? He's like, well, you can't even control your own people. And he's like, tries to, have a heart to heart with him. It's like, well, how about this? That's when he does what you're talking about. Where I like that scene because it makes sense from both of their perspectives, right? Japan just sees, okay, our shit was stolen. Here's record of our shit being stolen by the person who's trying to be the hero. So he's just trying to make himself look good. There's no reason why I should trust this guy. And then from Ross's perspective, it's, I knew nothing about this, which he doesn't. Yeah. So I think that scene's pretty good. I like that because it's just,
I mean, he says it in the most rudest way possible. It's like, you don't even know you're being damn fooled.
Yes. Which
he doesn't like. He shouldn't have probably said that, but probably.
Yeah, there could be better word choice, but it got the message across. I think because there were so many reshoots and everything, I like the story we ended up with. What would have made this movie twice as good is if we took a second go around of the same story, same events, and just like refined some dialogue. Maybe added a little bit extra to a couple of scenes, so we got the runtime up to about 2:15. Just a couple of things where it could have used a little bit more time, and then little dialogue touch-ups. And I think this would have been a really, really solid movie that no one would have complained about. The worst it would have gotten from like the harsh critics would have been like, it's all right, instead of, oh, this is fucking terrible. I don't understand the this is fucking terrible standpoint. I get if you don't like this, and it was just like, it's fine. I don't think it's a bad movie, though.
Pretty much like how Dylan said, like, anything after, like, Endgame, people are just like, like they're pretty much like expecting like maybe higher expectations than what Endgame had.
Yeah, and it's hard to live up to that. Like, we can't have every movie be that, because you have to remember how many movies there were that built up to that. And there were some bad movies in early Marvel days, not as many, but there were. Because I remember, right? A lot of people didn't like, what was it, Iron Man 3?
Yeah, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Iron Man 3.
I thought it was a decent movie.
I didn't have a problem with any of them.
I feel like the first two Thor movies were kind of slow.
I didn't care much for them, but I didn't have a problem with them. Like, not every movie leading up to Endgame or Infinity War was like, the greatest thing ever. It's like, we have to have some, okay to solid movies, build up the cast, the characters, the story events, the storyline. And I think this is one of those movies that's serviceable. And me personally, I think I enjoyed it more than most people did. But yeah, we get some more. After that, I think is when Cap gets attacked by Sidewinder, and they go to the base, and they find the leader, and they get all the information about what he's doing to everybody, the sleeper agent stuff, that he's doing something to Ross. They don't know what.
It's pretty much like, and it's not even sleeper agents, it's because like they're pretty much, their memories like wiped from like the last thing that they did, so they don't even know that they did it.
Yeah, it's a super sleeper agent or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit.
Now, I haven't gone back and watched the scene, but I want to. One of my gripes was when Sidewinder attacks Cap when he's in his truck, right? At one point during the fight, he pulls out a revolver. Oh, I'm almost positive he fires like 7 or 8 shots in a 6-shooter. Mm-hmm. No. You don't have that many shots, sir.
You want to go back and like count the shots, sir?
I do want to. Like, that's such a movie trope thing where, the endless clip, they'll fire like 20 bullets from a handgun. And it's less immersion breaking for me when it's a handgun, because I'm like, all right, whatever, maybe it's an extended clip and I couldn't see how long it actually was. A revolver, I can see the barrel, and when he reloads and all the bullets fell out, I'm pretty sure it was 6, and I'm pretty sure he fired more than 6. I could be wrong, but because I was like, I started counting late, so I could have been wrong, but I feel like I was like, I don't know about that one. But then the way he takes down Sidewinder is so fucking great. the full drop kick straight.
The one thing that I was like, what was the point of pouring bleach on the battery?
To make the smoke.
To make battery acid smoke?
Yeah. No, he should not be breathing that in. He should have had a mask or something on. Because
he probably did hold his, like, as soon as he did, he probably took a deep breath beforehand.
Well, when the gas was still going, he was still going like, I got him. I'm just sitting there thinking, you probably shouldn't be breathing that
like
in.
That very like toxic.
Yeah, no, not good for you. That definitely not good for you.
I've been around like some battery acid like in my past department age of Walmart. And I was like, I'm like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like some people like to take the goddamn like caps off, and then it'll just be like whooshing around there in the battery. I'm like, if this goes on the floor, it's gonna melt the floor.
Yeah. After that, there was a dumb fight scene a little bit when the leader shows up, because he has a bunch of guards come take them on, and for some reason they all approach Cap with shocky taser sticks instead of guns.
Yes.
Because they have to fight their way out, because the hallway immediately after that, they all have guns instead of shocky sticks. So
you talking about the hallway scene or the lab, in the lab before they get to the hallway?
lab. right? Okay. So in the lab, they fight a bunch of guys with shocky sticks. As soon as they get out of the lab and turn into the hallway, there's guys with guns. Why didn't they have guns to begin with?
Because they had shocky sticks instead.
Yeah, that's where it was weird. It's like, okay,
they said, I don't want a gun today. I want a shocky stick. I want a shock. Captain America.
If for whatever reason the villain was like, oh, I don't want them dead, I just want to slow them down, then all of them should have had shocky sticks. Not half shocky, half gun. If you wanted them dead, they should have walked in with guns.
Someone's gonna have a trank. someone different, like 2 or 3 of them are gonna have like trank guns. I'm like, why do we have trank guns?
Yeah.
We're gonna put Captain America to sleep.
I think this hallway had one of the stupid shield throws you really didn't like.
Yes. Actually, no. I think he had a shield charge, and then he like did a shield throw. I know there was a charge in one of the scenes.
So me personally, I don't give a shit about the stupid trajectory about the shield as much, because
it was stupid because it was big bong. Oh, I caught it.
It's a comic book movie. And that's where I'm like, I realize my gripes about the shots and the gun or whatever.
I bet you if you just rolled it on the ground and go, bing bong, oh, I caught it.
Yeah, that's part of the movie, dude. Like, he throws the book anywhere in the comic, it comes back at you, you know? So I don't really have a problem with that.
I bet you if you threw it in the air and just bing bong someone and then just...
We don't actually have people who absorb gamma radiation and turn into giant monsters, okay? Like... Let the shield bing bong around the room.
Off, maybe I will.
The shield can bing bong around the room and come back to him.
But then eventually the Red Hulk was like, man, fuck the shield. I'm gonna toss it.
Because see, it makes for good moments like that. During the fight with Red Hulk, he catches that shit and tosses it in the ground. You're like, oh, that's when you know shit gets serious, is the villain deals with the shield. You're like, oh no.
And he didn't also because he was trying to fly away too, because he was just flying away. But Hulk's like, where are you going?
Yeah. We're almost, we'll get to that. We're almost at the end.
Okay.
So that's like middle through the movie. The next big events, there's like stuff in between. The next big thing is the ships. So negotiations break down more between the US and Japan. They're going to shoot at each other. They both got a fleet going towards Celestial Island. They're going to fight. And this is where we get probably the best action in the movie, other than the Red Hulk fight, is you get to see Captain America and Falcon flying around jets, cutting planes and missiles and shooting missiles down. Like, it's sick.
And they're wing jets, not actual jet fighter jets. Just their wingsuit jets.
Everything about this was pure adrenaline, fantastic, like great choreograph, great CGI, great everything about this whole section. It's the best part of the movie, I think.
He also was riding on a rocket like in fucking Fortnite.
Like, it was cool though. He was skating on that missile and just shoves it down into the water. You're like, oh, it's cool. You can't tell me you didn't have a smile on your face the whole time.
The first time seeing it, yes, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
Exactly.
I mean, who doesn't want to surf on a rocket when you're
like? It's cool. He's showing off. And it's cool. And we get the sad moment when our best boy gets shot down
because he perfectly aims for one missile, then he randomly fires like 2 other ones at the other ones. Like, oh, I missed.
Yeah, he missed. He choked. Happens to the best of us.
And then he said, "Oh, I got it." I'm like, "No, I got it."
He didn't got it.
His wings weren't.
He exploded real good.
Yeah, I mean, probably part of his face. I'm pretty sure he can't hear out of his like right ear.
What?
That
would have been great. Yeah, Cap walks in like, "You all right, buddy?" What? He does the Archer thing where he's like rubbing his ear. Mop, mop, mop.
I feel like that would have been like a good time to like see, like, because they were talking about like how the Celestial had good health benefits too, like for healing and stuff.
It's not necessary.
If you're gonna advertise a product, might as well use it.
It's not. You don't need that. He just got hit by a missile. That happens to superheroes all the time in the movies, and they're fine. They just go to the hospital, which is what happens. He goes to the hospital, and then it'll be fine later.
That's why we're not sponsored by OxyClean.
Yeah. That flex tape, though, just... There you go. Now that's a lot of damage.
But yeah. Yes, by they resolve the brainwashed fighter pilots.
Pilots on the American side de-escalate everything.
Then the Japanese fighter pilots are understanding, like, oh, something was going on, they were rogue or something happened, and then they had talked it out.
Yep, everything works out. The treaty's going to go through, and we get to the end of the movie now where it's the villain's last chance.
He says he's like, oh, I'm turning myself in to actually... I wasn't hoping this.
Right before that, the ranger, I think he was a ranger. Was he a SEAL or a ranger? I don't remember. But Sam's friend throughout the movie, he gets killed by the leader because he finds out.
Oh, yeah. He they go to a base or somewhere to
Did you have any problem with how all that went down? Because a lot of people didn't like that.
The way he made an invention where he was like, oh, that you're stunned, but if I turn this up, you're just basically your heart's gonna explode.
Sci-fi bullshit, whatever.
I don't really have a problem with it. It's more of could there been another way he could have dealt with it? Maybe, but at this point, I'm like, anything could happen. I don't really care. So I'm like, I don't really care. It's just the way he said, I'm the hero. I mean, yeah, maybe he could be the hero because he's the victim of it all, because Ross...
And see, that's what I want people to get from another perspective if you're not a super huge comic book enthusiast.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, he feels like, he was lied to from Ross, and that's probably why he's doing it, because Ross promised him a lot, and he was about to get free, but then Ross was like, the only reason why he didn't do it is because he was thinking he wasn't going to get no more pills,
right,
to help with his heart, because apparently Ross was dying because his heart was failing.
Right, which turns out to be the thing that turns him into Red Hulk.
Yes.
So yeah, end of the movie, leader shows up and he's like, "Hey Cap, you stopped all my other plans, so I have to be here now to make sure that this is gonna happen." And during Ross's speech, he gets to play over the loudspeakers a bunch of stuff that makes him sound really bad.
Basically, he just recorded all their phone conversation and then posted that news article with him turning himself in, this and that.
Yep. And then we get
then he was like, oh, they had Ross was like, oh, they have to know the truth. Is then his advisors and everything were like, no, that's a bad thing, and they're like, it's like, you need to do this and that, and then he started flipping out, and then he turns into Red Hulk.
So he turns into Red Hulk, right? Mm-hmm. He's still the president.
Yes.
Why were the Secret Service so quick to fire on him?
Well,
they've seen that there's a Hulk before, and they know that he's on the good side, though. Well, why did they start with aggression? This was I
feel like they've only seen Green Hulk, and that's probably what the world has probably just seen, is just a Green Hulk. And
no, because this is after everything, after Endgame and whatnot, right? People have seen Hulk. People know that Hulk is usually good. So why are we immediately shooting the president when he turns into Hulk?
Because he's red. He's a different color. He ain't green. Green's good, red bad. Red is aggression.
This is why the movie lost points for me, is right here. I'm like, what should have happened, and very simply, is they try to calm him down, and he punches the fuck out of one of them and kills them. And then they go, oh shit, all right, now shoot him. That didn't happen. He didn't kill anybody yet. There's a helicopter pilot that I'm sure is dead. But
maybe 2 helicopter pilots.
Yeah, but
I mean, I like how he still was supporting
America with the flag, and he's just like he holds it up, and he's like, "I'm gonna toss it now."
Yeah, everything Red Hulk jumping around, destroying stuff in it, it's all cool, but there was no reason for them to shoot him. It doesn't make sense. He got big into big, scary, angry red guy, but he didn't do anything yet. Like he flipped a desk, maybe he smashed the podium. He hasn't attacked anybody. He's just clearly in distress. Everyone runs away. So the Secret Service, whose job is to protect him, should have been like, "Hey, buddy, calm down." And then he should have punched one of them into oblivion.
There could also been a bunch of new secret. It's like the first day on the job, Secret Service people.
It's as simple as that, right? He should have just punched one of them. They didn't even have to die. He just needed to like hit someone so that they go, "Okay, he is a threat."
Even if he remotely like swings somebody, they're still fucking like someone's either their bones are caved in or something. Because he probably doesn't control it, as much.
Yeah, but it's like he didn't directly hurt anyone yet. He just looks scary. I don't know. I don't think that they were so quick to open fire on him.
One thing I like about is like he did the classic like Hulk slap, and then
the clap.
The clap.
That was sick. Like, yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's probably people dead in that building if there was people in that building.
Yeah, but it's like they shot him before that is my gripe. I think they shot him too quickly as far as how the movie was. They needed a good reason to open fire on the president.
Yes. And I like how they're so quickly to get in the war thunder fucking helicopter army or military grade helicopters. We had them on standby.
No, I could give that a pass for the sake of we're in comic book universe and there's all kinds of crazy shit happening. They're probably going to have some gunships guarding the White House ready to take off if anything like that happens. So I could see that. But yeah. And then, Cap and Red Hulk are fighting. And then
there was like the first time like at when they were going through like they were jumping to like the woods area. And then he was blocking like one of the branches, I think. And then all of a sudden, just like Hulk's like running from his face. Like I got jump scared from just seeing that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But
did you like the fight? I liked the fight.
Yeah, I thought the fight was pretty good.
Did you have a problem with how it ended? Did you like that?
I want to mention like they did the I think Age of Ultron Hulk thing. Sun's getting real low there, champ. And it's time to go to sleep. I'm thinking like, oh, the sun's actually going down too. So is that like different wording? Oh, they were like, oh, it's the sun's getting real low.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, because I mean, like he kind of like he was like doing it a different way, but he had his head out, and then the sun behind was going. The sun was getting low, so I was like, is he trying to get? Is he trying to do like a kind of like the same speech,
maybe
but different?
I don't know. But yeah, the fight ends with Cap using his Uganda new wings absorbs all of the
like basically you just take damage, he can reflect the damage right back. Yeah. And probably the only way he could possibly do it is like he absorbed like enough damage where the thing was shaking. The vibranium was shaking, and then he had to just stab him at the right time in his stomach and then blast him away. But he's
a Hulk. It still wasn't enough.
No, it was not enough. Maybe but he had to really just talk him out of it, and then
it slowed him down enough for him to talk him down. Which I liked that. I like that.
I feel like that was the only option, was just to talk him out of it. And
yeah, I like it. And I can see how some people are like, well, that's what happened with Hulk and
I mean, in reality, that's the only way to do it. I mean, there's no other way. You have to like talk the real like person out of it until unless their Hulk Sona comes out.
The only other option is go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Which they don't have. I'm pretty sure they don't have Tony's tech no more. So
yeah, which I fucking love that scene so much. I love that it's still in memes. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Jesus Christ, that was
so good, dude.
That's so good.
But yeah, movie ends. They talk Ross down. He turns back. Ross admits to all of his wrongdoings, takes responsibility, ends up in the superhero prison where they held Cap and all them during the Civil War. So, yeah, that's about it. That's the movie. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, I don't think there is. I feel like maybe. No, nothing.
All right. So give me your final thoughts, your final summary, and your final score.
Final summary is that going into this movie, I had medium expectations. There's no high or low. It was like kind of in the middle because like it's the first Marvel movie start of the year. So I was like, and that's pretty much where I was like standing it. And at first time watching it, it was a 4 out of 10. But after seeing it a second time, I give it like a 5 out of 10 still.
So just average.
Yep, pretty much average.
Average movie. That's fair. That's fair. I can understand that. Yeah, my main gripes. I like I said, every so often there'd be like the beginning choreography wasn't as good as the rest of the movie. Most of the fights were good except for that one. The one of the moments that took me out the most, like I said, is when they just started shooting Ross so early. I was like, I get it. He broke the podium, but like he hasn't shown that he's a threat yet. But otherwise, I didn't have a problem with pacing. I liked the story. I liked the movie. Don't care that we're using some of the similar things because I think it works in the setting. I like it. I think it was a good story. It felt like a good enough mystery to someone who doesn't know the comics. So I had a good time. I originally gave it a 7 at the start of this. I'm thinking about lowering it to a 6 though, just because of how much some of that really took me out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of other movies I've given a 7 to. So I think it's just above an average movie. It's a little good. Because there were some lines that I really liked. There's some action that's really good. There's some good highs in this movie.
Yeah, there's some good, but I feel like there's not enough for it to be like a 6 or a 7. I feel like it's just average. It's like something. It's like I feel like it's just something you'd say like, oh, maybe my friend's just like my friend, or you're trying to get your girlfriend or your friend into Marvel movies. Maybe you could probably take them to this one. Like, yeah.
For me personally, on my scale, the higher it is, the more I would rewatch it.
Yeah.
Or like just how much I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I think I'll still keep my 7 because I would still watch this again. I would still have fun watching this movie again. If I had more people who wanted to see it again, or I saw it was added to one of the streaming services I already have, I'd watch it again. I had fun. I had enough fun during this movie where I liked it. So I will stick with my 7 out of 10.
Okay. I think globally its audience score, it's still pretty decent. I think
that's good.
It's like, it's 80% audience score. So still pretty
So 8 out of 10 basically.
We don't count, the critics because, they're kind of
the critics no one really listens to them anyways.
Yeah.
Because he said that one stupid movie that was nominated for everything at the Oscars that no one had seen.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. We could talk about that another time, but that was just fucking stupid. Anyway, thank you everybody so much for watching or listening, because this is an audio. That's how these are. These are audio podcasts, basically. Yeah. that's our review of Captain America, Brave New World. Stay tuned. We'll. I don't know. Either me and Devin will decide now. Do you want a review? Which would you prefer to do a review for? Because Carlos isn't here, but he's seen both of them. Or we can wait till later, because we've already seen Sonic 3 and what was it, Love Hurts?
Yes,
Love Hurts. The two movies that we've seen recently as well. And we could do a review for either of those. Post in the comments if either of those you're excited for to let me know, because I'm going to get this edited. It's going to go out this week. Otherwise, if neither of those sounds super exciting, I don't know, maybe something else we've been watching. But yeah, that's all the time we got for this one.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut you off, but
sorry. We could go see Paddington for real.
I've not seen any of the Paddington.
I haven't seen
movies.
them either. I feel like I should too. Or we could go watch
Carlos has seen them all, so we have to watch them with Carlos, and he'll be like, "Oh, this is great because of this reason." We're like, I've never seen Paddington. He's a bear?
I heard Paddington 2 was like makes a grown man cry for some reason.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.
Goodbye.